All right. I know it's not my normal day, and I don't usually do this, but I'm testing. I switched to the other network in the house, and I'm checking to see if it works better. It's working better now. Uh, it's green. There's no drop frames. Um, while I am here, we should talk about what just happened in the Oval Office. If you didn't see the shit show that occurred when the South African president came and Trump immediately started talking about the white genocide in South Africa, and then he says, "Wheel in the TV set." And they wheel in the TV set, and they show a bunch of TikTok videos, and then he holds up a bunch of news articles that he had printed out. It says that this proves that there's white genocide going on in South Africa, and then come to find out, it's pictures from the Congo. Not even South Africa, which means two things. Which means one, the president is a fucking moron. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it at this point. But two, it means he's surrounded by morons who either don't know the difference between what's real and what's fake, or they just don't care. Now you tell me what's worse. if they don't care, or that they don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that. I think that it's more evil to not care, but I have no tolerance for fucking stupidity on any level, really. There's no excuse to be that high up in the government and not be able to tell what's real from an internet obvious conspiracy. This is what we are now. It's an internet conspiracy theory peddling, white supremacist reality TV show that is strictly, mostly performative and completely incompetent on multiple levels. They're also very evil. Like, they just shipped another plane load of people to, I didn't see where it was. They sent them to some other country where the court have already told them they can't do that without them getting a hearing or due process, but they did it anyway. So now they're blatantly just violating the court order. What's going to be done about it? Absolutely nothing. And again, the media, if you're watching the media, they're not doing anything about this. They're just, everybody's just moseying along like everything's normal. I guess this is the new normal. Like, happened rather quickly, huh? When the Congress is not going to do their job, now they're going after their political opponents with the Justice Department, which every single person that Trump nominated for some kind of position and went through the Senate confirmation hearings has done the exact opposite of what they said they would do in the Senate confirmation hearings, which means that those hearings, they don't mean anything. It's a ridiculous notion that the government is functional now. We're almost completely to autocracy in less than 200 days. And now these people are changing intelligence reports that they don't like. They're going to sell you their version of the world, which is a lie. I mean, after what happened today, you can bet money that you can't trust anything this government says. They're all liars on multiple levels because somebody helped him assemble that stack of bullshit that he was showing today. All the things that he said today are easily disproven. It's not true. And then he says, oh, well, we would let anyone in who is facing genocide, well, except the people in Sudan and the people in the Congo, It's like, just the white ones. And again, people just let him get away with it. I'm pretty sure that this test has been successful. The light is green all the way. It's not fluctuating like it has been. And the no frame drops. So I think we're back in business. This probably is a better feed. Because the router upstairs is hardwired. I have been using Verizon, my Verizon Cube network to do the show. And it worked well in the beginning. But it didn't. This is a hardwired Spectrum network. Oh, wait, is it Spectrum? I can't remember the name of it. One of them fucking shitbag cable companies that rip you off. My mom pays an extraordinary amount of money every month to watch television. But it also comes with this network. So I figured I might as well use it. Because the one I have is not working very well. I think that Verizon, I said, throttles you down, even though it says you have an unlimited data plan. When you go over a certain data, they start slowing you down, throttling you. Because Verizon has 5G. I mean, I'm not really complaining about Verizon because I've been all over the country and my phone works everywhere, except for like the middle of Montana where nobody's phone works. But for the most part, my phone works pretty good and their network is always available, and that's good. But I have a 5G phone, and it doesn't always run like, it doesn't feel like 5G. Like you would think it would be like super fast, but sometimes, depending on where you're at, it doesn't work very good. No, it could be like, buildings have thicker walls or whatever. I am in a basement down here, but like I said, when I first started doing the show, it worked fine. So you're not going to convince me that they're not throttling down. They are. It's like, come on, man. Once I started using a lot of data doing this, my feed started not working so good. But this one here is perfect. The bars have been green the whole time. No drop frames. Chat box is on, but no one's watching, I guess. It's not my normal time. You probably don't know I'm on. Anyway, buckle up, because what happened today is a complete embarrassment. Like, this might be the most embarrassing thing that Donald Trump has done so far. And he's done a lot of, to me, it just gets more and more ridiculous every day. But today, talking about turn the lights down, wheeling this TV, look at these TikTok videos, and these bullshit internet articles that I that I have that don't even have pictures of South Africa. It's pictures of the Congo, and he's talking about these crosses on the road. They mean dead farmers, and they immediately came on with the stats. There's been 20,000 murders in South Africa. You know how many of them were farmers? 7. It's just like the trans thing. Where it's like, oh, they create this mythical problem, and then you look into it and you're like, it's 7 people. Now, and no one should get murdered. But it's 0.1% of their fucking actual crime. It's not a genocide. A genocide is when they're rounding people up and trying to exterminate them off the face of the earth. That's more than 7 fucking people. And because of this reason, we have to let these South Africans come here. Fully paid for, by the way, by the taxpayers. Now, here's something that I don't understand. People will swear up and down that white privilege doesn't exist, right? But any other immigrant that comes to this country, right, has to gather the money, pay for their way to get over here. When they get here, they got to worry about what they're doing. They might get a little bit of government assistance, but they're not getting, paid. These white South Africans, they got everything. They got free flights. They got free meals. When they get here, they get free housing. We're paying for it with tax dollars, all of it. And you're telling me there's not a white privilege? Are you fucking kidding me? It's like the way these people gaslight themselves is unbelievable. What's up, Vinny? I'm just doing a test. I'm not really doing a show because the network's been jacked up. I switched to another network. My mom's Alta Fiber. That's what it is. It's not Spectrum. It's Alta Fiber. But the router is hardwired upstairs, so I was like, well, maybe if I just switch networks, I'll get a better feed, and it works much better. I said the bars are all green, no drop frames, everything's smooth. So I'll be doing it on this network from now on, so you don't have to watch me chop and drop out and drop back on. It really became a problem in the last 2 weeks. He's on quantum fiber. Yeah. Fiber. It's the way of the future. No, but like I said, it's the router's hardwired. So computer to hardwire router, the feed goes out much smoother on the hardwire, apparently, because I was using the Verizon box, which is strictly open air. Even the connection to the network is open air, which is fine for watching TV and shit. But even then, sometimes the TV will spin for a second. You get little glitches here and there. This network is obviously much better. As I said, my mom pays a shitload of money for it. I seen her cable bill. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You pay this much to watch TV? But that's all she does, so I suppose you want it to be good. That's your only activity. But yeah, I've never. And you think world leader is gonna want to come here and sit there? Which I don't know if you noticed this either. Or you look at the. Yes, Vinny says it sucks needing the internet just to watch TV. It does. Most definitely. And you think about that, there's poor people still out in places where there aren't much internet. They probably still got 3 channels and a coat hanger on the back of the TV. I remember those days. I remember, like I said, I'm old enough to remember there was no... I'm a Generation X. So we were born right at the time when... I said all this stuff was coming into play. I remember, the first part of my childhood, we just had open air antennas, and then on TV was the first thing. You could pay. This was hilarious. You could pay. It was called On TV. You could pay them to come, and they would put this special antenna up on your roof, and then that would lead to a box, and then you'd have one channel. And they showed movies and shit. And at night, they showed fucking softcore porn. That's the first one I discovered that. But it was like, Cinemax or HBO. But it was just one channel. And it wasn't cable. It was, like I said, they broadcasted it, and you'd have to buy their special antenna, and they'd come out and put it on your roof. And then they started with the basic cable, and you had I can't even remember basic cable. Yeah, softcore. Like Gene Simmons' wife. She was a huge softcore porn star. I can't remember her fucking name, but she'd been in like 500 softcore Cinemax movies. And you were like 12 or 13. You sneak up in the middle of the night, turn it on, hey, to see some titties. This is a miracle. And sometimes people would even look if they didn't have it. Like if you didn't have it, we had like this big line in the middle of your screen, and everything would be like a little staticky and shit. But you could still kind of see what was going on. So people, they call that scrambled titties. You turn on the feed where it's all fucked up. But if you look long enough and you're like, oh, there's some titties. Now the internet's just pouring on demand. You just click on anytime you want, 24/7. I'm sure this dudes just never leave their fucking house because they're hooked on. Just watching porn all day on a loop. It's like, where's Bob, man? I haven't seen him for a while. He's like, he hasn't come out of the house for several months. Yes, dial up. And it was like, remember that? Fucking, you want to get on AOL or something, you had to turn on your computer and it'd do that, whatever, and it would call up the network, and then you'd hear it. And it would be all slow. My friend apparently has been going down the NFL is rigged rabbit hole all day. He's like, I never really thought much about it, but then I don't know what happened that triggered him. He's like, I started watching all these videos of these games. He's like, it's fucking rigged. It's like, yeah, they can never prove it's rigged, but like, there's lots of questionable calls. There's lots of questionable shit going on. Like some teams, they never call holding. Let the offensive line just fucking manhandle these defensive linemen and grab them around the neck and shit. They don't call nothing, and then you watch your favorite team and like the guy hand goes up a little high, but the flag comes out. You're like, yeah, it's hard to say it's not rigged, when a guy grabs a face mask and twists the guy's head halfway around, no flag comes out. It's like, you didn't see that? Referee's standing right there, They showed a replay. The guy's like 3 feet away. Like, you didn't see that? It's like, is it rigged? Is it not? Now gambling's involved. You don't know what's real and what isn't. That's the thing about this world. And the internet itself. In reality TV, I was talking with my friend last night. We went and saw Sinners. Very good, by the way. I finally saw it. It's a really good movie. By far the best movie that Michael B. Jordan has ever done. But I don't want to talk too much about that because I said I would review it tomorrow, which I will on the show. But it was a good movie. But anyway, we were out after and we were talking like, this is where we're at now. This is what the world is. And Trump today just proved it even more. My thesis that it's the internet and reality television is the reason why we're here now. The internet warped everybody's brains, and reality TV made everybody selfish shitbags and clout chasers, nut lickers. A lot of the reality TV scene is groveling and nut licking. Like in the Oval Office is now, like I said, some jacked up steroided version of The Apprentice. Well, they're all there, like, why are they all there? Trump makes Vance and Hegseth, and today Musk was standing there, and Stephen Miller, and all these guys. They're all just standing there around that couch. You know, J.D. Vance is sitting on the couch, and Rubio usually, and then everybody else is standing around. But none of them ever hardly say anything. They're just standing there. Why are they even there? I thought this was a meeting between two presidents of the country. I don't believe that you need 15 nutlickers standing next to you. It's like, especially when they're not even going to say anything. It's all a show. Like I said, my friend said, "Oh, it's all nice," but yeah, of course. That's why I said now the gambling's involved in sports. You can't trust anything anymore. I learned this when this is another thing. Yeah, needs all of the But he's already ran out of them. That's why they all have 5 jobs. Because he doesn't have enough people to fill up the real jobs. Because he won't hire anybody now who's not a nutlicker. And the other nutlickers are all in Congress, and he can't afford to take any of them out. So he only got 4-vote majority. If he takes any congressman out to give him a job, he's going to fuck himself over. So y'all got to wear 5 hats. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State. But he also has this. Marco Rubio has the title of Secretary of State, but if you've noticed, Marco Rubio is not doing any of these big negotiations. It's his golf buddy, Steve Witkoff. So Steve Witkoff is really the de facto Secretary of State, but if you notice this, he doesn't really have a title, and he was never confirmed by the Senate. Yet he's the one who's doing all the high-level negotiation. That seems kind of odd, don't you think? The FBI, what, Kash Patel? Dan Bongino. I was talking about that yesterday. They all said that January 6th was a false flag, and they're going to get to the bottom of it. And then, and now they're in charge, where they should have access to all the information, and there is no January 6th conspiracy. You know why? Because it never happened. It's a bullshit story. Just like this white genocide thing. But see, that's what I'm saying is, it's one thing to see this stuff on the internet and go, oh, look, Breitbart's writing bullshit again or whatever. It's another thing when the President of the United States is walking into these fucking meetings and, like, showing off TikTok videos and like I said, poorly edited news articles that have pictures from different countries that aren't even the country he's talking about. Fake, basically. Fake news. I mean, that's his favorite phrase, fake news. But when Trump says fake news, that means it's real. Because Trump is in the business. Yes, and again, you tell me the motive for them to do that when they won the election. Why would the Democrat, if let's go along with their theory, that the FBI at the time was a Democrat, arm of the Democrat Party, controlled by partisan Democrats, and was used as some kind of weapon, against the Republicans, and Trump specifically. And Trump loses the election. And Joe Biden's about to, first of all, and you got to remember, too, that Donald Trump was the president for 4 years. So if the FBI was a Democrat controlled, that's what I mean. It's unbelievable to think that all this is really happening when, if you just start thinking about it and breaking it down, even, I'm not a fucking genius, but like, you just start thinking about it logically. He was the president for 4 years, right? He had control of the FBI. Correct? Right? But yet they still claim that behind his back, they organized this false flag operation for January 6th and to what? To stop an election that they won. It doesn't make any sense at all. But that's just to obfuscate you from the truth, which is the white nationals and the Proud Boys and all these people tried to overthrow the election. That's the truth. And Trump was sitting in that basement cheering them on. You think he did enjoy that? That was in the greatest reality TV shows of all time. Until that woman got shot in the face. Then it became real all of a sudden. Which, by the way, they're going to pay this woman. $5 million they're going to give this woman's family for her trying to climb through the window of the Congress with it after multiple warnings. And then, like I said, if they let her get through, everybody else is coming through. She was the first one through the window. She got shot in the face. When you seen them run away then, it's like they were tough until that happened. They were like, oh my God. But yeah, she's a terrorist, basically. And they're going to pay for her. Pay her. Yes, and he took the jet. Yes. Which is unbelievable, because here's the thing about that jet. They're going to have to do it's going to cost more than the jet is worth for them to retrofit it, tear it apart, make sure there ain't no bugs and shit on it, right? Put security on it and all this other shit. And that's going to take years. He ain't even going to be able to use this plane, most likely, before his time in office is over. So we're just basically paying for him to have his free jet given to him by the Qatari, I don't know if they're princes or what, but they gave him this jet. We're going to pay for it to be retrofitted, and then he's going to fly around in it for the rest of his fucking shit life. Which is, and then Don Jr. will be flying around in it, I guess, like after that. I read a thing today that said Don Jr. talking about running for president. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then they say it's not a cult. It's totally not an authoritarian cult where it's like North Korea. But yet, when he dies, let's make his son the leader. Like, oh, okay. That sounds familiar. It's totally not a cult. Anyway, I was just trying to test out the system, and I've already done almost half an hour. So, obviously, I'm getting comfortable doing this. So I just shit out of half an hour, like real fast. Yeah, Vinny, that's a good question. Vinny says if they're gonna deconstruct it and put it back together faster than Boeing can put together the one they're already working on, maybe. I doubt it. That Boeing one will probably be ready. He just wanted to fucking get something for free. And trade favors. They let him build a golf course or something. I'm curious how many people are going to patronize these Trump properties that they're building all over the world. Like, I mean, I guess they have enough people. And so, I mean, these people aren't very smart. It's like Elon Musk. Like, Elon Musk thinks now that he can just leave the government and go back to Tesla, and everything's going to just go back to normal. He trashed his entire reputation. Everyone hates him now. You think that they're just going to stop hating him when he goes back to... And he goes, hey, well, I'm just making cars again. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is how they're not really smart people on certain levels. I mean, I guess you could say that about anybody. I mean, I'm pretty smart, but I do a lot of dumb shit. Yes, Vinny. Not that says I'm a world class nutligger like gifting a flying fuck palace. Yes, but if you don't know, if you haven't been reading this, they've been trying to get rid of that plane for a long time and no one would buy it. Because it's a hassle. It costs a lot to operate. It's really big, so they can't land on all kinds of airstrips. They have to have, special airstrips to land this fucking plane. And overall, it's just not very convenient. And so they've been trying to sell it for the last 10 years, and nobody wanted it. Here comes Trump, like, whoa, what is that? Oh, we've been trying to sell that for a while. No one wants it. Really, I'll take it. It's free. It's like, yeah, but it's gonna cost you, like I said, more than it's worth to fucking. Not to mention, like I said, just the sheer security nightmare. There could be 1,000 bugs in that plane. Transponders that tell him where he's at all times. Like listening devices, like I said. You don't know what the fuck. It's unbelievable. They pretty much got to rip the whole thing apart and then put it all back together. I saw a thing today. They said, "Oh, Hegseth took the plane, and now they're looking for. They're gonna give out the big contract." Yes, he should use it. Yeah, Vinny says he should use it. Yes, he should send it down there and put Abrego Garcia on there and bring it back. I was thinking about that today because I said there's a report yesterday that said like 50 to 75 people that are in the CCOT prison are just like I said. They don't have any gang ties. They're not criminals. They came to the country legally, and they didn't have criminal records. They just wanted to jack up those numbers and make it look like they was doing something. So they just grabbed a bunch of people and put them on these planes and put them out of CCOT prison. Now, I was like, oh my God, that really sucks, which it does really suck. Because you're like, oh, it's a black hole prison for life. Like, but in 4 years, Trump's going to be gone and a Democrat president or something, I mean, unless by some miracle this all turns around. And J.D. Vance can become the president because their policies worked out, which I doubt this is going to fucking happen. But so let's say a Democrat comes into power. You can bring all those people back. You can shut down the whole operation. So 4 years sucks, but it's better than life. There is hope for them to get out. Nah, yeah, Junior, but Junior's a fucking idiot. Junior's even dumber than his dad. And Junior, I don't know. I just can't see. I mean, but I couldn't see Trump, so maybe we are this stupid. Like maybe this is just our fate because we're fucking we're really that dumb. But I don't think so because today, New York State Senate race had a special election in a Trump district that Trump won by 70%, and Democrat won. So I don't think that the future looks very good for the MAGA movement from this point out because a lot of people now the mask is off and people see what the MAGA really is, and by the end of the presidency, MAGA will be down to the 30% that it really is. All the fringe people that have joined the party on the fringes or whatever. And when Trump's gone, the other part of it, the low propensity voter, they're going to go back to not voting. They only voted because of Trump. For some reason, Trump they turned him into, I don't know how, they turned Trump into like Gandhi for these people or something. Like, I mean, they really believe that he's like some godlike figure that's going to save them from whatever it is they think they need saving from. But a bunch of people now are starting to see that, like, hey, man, this is not cool. The only question is, how much damage are they going to do before we get to the end of it, Yes, well, they're the ones that are, Vinny says, when all the uneducated white guys figure out they got played. Yeah, but those are the 30%. The original mega number, 30% of, they're Nazis, they're Proud Boys, they're uneducated, like you said, like fucking people from the South, There's not that many of them. He got to 35, 40 by drawing in other people, people on the fringes, like I said, using the podcast sphere and the the bromance or whatever they call it, to get these people out of their basement who usually doesn't vote, They were able to reach them. Now, I give them credit for, they were able to manipulate the system, and they have a very efficient they're way ahead of the left in the internet propaganda sphere. That's one of the reasons why I said I started this show, because I just don't believe there's enough shows from the other side. That the right wing dominates the podcast sphere and the internet, and we need more voices. So, I mean, I'm screaming into the void right now, I guess, but show's picking up viewers, here and there. I mean, there's not many watching today because I'm not even supposed to be on. But I will say this: it's maintained its greenness and no drop frames the entire time I've been on here. I mean, that's 37 minutes. So I must say that the experiment is successful, and this network is much better. So from now on, the stream and the show will not glitch like it has been. I'll get the statistics as soon as I get off of here about the bit rate and all that shit. But the point is, Vinny, I don't know if they'll figure out that they got played. This is what a lot of them want. They want to own libs and, like I said, shit on fucking brown people, and that's the objective. That's why you see, like, there is no compromise. There is no mega. There is no like, oh, we have to kind of play it so. They're trying to appease everybody. They don't want to appease everybody. They want to shit on all the liberals and shit on all the brown people. And that's their fucking goal. And as long as they just do that, they're going to lose people. The people did get sucked in, by, oh, he's a businessman. He's going to fix the economy and all this other shit. He's going to end all these wars in one day, It's like, meanwhile, none of these wars have ended, and they're all fucking hotter than ever. He hasn't done anything he said he would do except round up a bunch of brown people and deport them. Now he's going to cut a bunch of fucking social programs and give a bunch of tax cuts to the rich, and everybody's like, this is what you voted for. To fuck yourself up. Yes, Vinny, and I've heard that too. But Trump will at least he'll shake things up. Yeah, but how much you want him shook, After today, like I said, there ain't no fucking world leader gonna come and sit in the Oval Office with this motherfucker while he just ambushes him with bullshit. It's not gonna happen. We're the laughing stock of the fucking world right now. And I guess if that's what your friend wanted, he's got what he wanted. I mean, yeah, he shook things up, but now we're a fucking joke. He still don't have no trade deals. They got 55 things going on that they destroyed, and they're not repairing any of them. Every day is just another reality TV show episode. It's like we got to get through 3.5 years more of this. This is going to test just how strong this country is because, like I said, they're going to push. They're going to put the pedal to the metal, and they're going to push us all the way to the brink. Anyway, I've almost done a full fucking episode. I'm going to get out of here. I was just trying to test my feed, and now I've, like I said, I've done talk for 40 minutes. I'll be back tomorrow with the real episode. So please come back, Vinny. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. I am Bruce Leonard. Thank you for watching my whatever this is. Special episode, I guess, of Bruce Leonard Leans Left while it's still legal. Hopefully it'll be legal tomorrow, and I'll be back at 6 o'clock.